incentivizing ethical behavior, so rewarding users who promote positive interaction instead of harmful action. We could strengthen platform policies by creating feedback badges. They should lead the way in fair tech governance. They should put in place, nowadays with the help of artificial intelligence, and this should be combined, the automation should be combined with a human review so that nuances can be put into cases. They have to define internally clear guidelines so that their coders and their programmers are aware of what is acceptable to the company or not. They also have to create transparency reports. They should become mandatory so that content takedowns and abuse reports become public, and that this reported content can be used internally to make adaptations to the systems. Also, they should contest defamatory content very quickly, and that the action is immediate. Define a positive impact by advocating digital literacy, encourages some communities to fact check and think critically before sharing any content. Also, equip bystanders with tools to report defamatory posts anonymously. And we could create a community-led governance formed by citizen-led watch groups or platforms to flag harmful content or practices. I would say precise tools to prevent any detection. So the existing defamation laws should continue to be aligned with the digital realities, ensuring that the clarity on what constitutes cyber defamation becomes obvious. Policymakers and legal entities should take interest in harmonizing regulations globally to combat cross-border defamation cases. Educate stakeholders by conducting public awareness campaigns to inform citizens on the rights and responsibilities in the cyberspace. And of course, there is also a huge responsibility for advocates and NGOs to use their soft power to support victims, to create safe spaces for victims to share their experience and access resources. In Europe, we have very good examples where we work together with the film industry, with book editors, in order to make real cases available to the public. We can offer legal and psychological counseling to those who are affected. And we have to promote ethical tech development. So partner with developers to design systems that prioritize user dignity and data protection. And with these protective measures by all key actors involved, we could set a global example of how a digital powerhouse protects its citizens' dignity online.
We're going online and connecting in cyberspace. There are certain awareness programs which developed nations in the world have introduced. For example, United States in Barack Obama's administration had introduced a program of Stop, Think and Connect, so that users who are going online and connecting in cyberspace could be made aware about the things that they must do and they must restrain themselves from doing. So is there anything which exists per se on a similar platform when it comes to the European Union?
Well, in the European Union law, we are now in the process of harmonizing the Cybersecurity Act. So where we specify the new tools that could be used and the new opportunities that arise with the use of artificial intelligence, where new tools can be put in place in order to strengthen, in fact, the security of the individual. Case for this. So, and cybersecurity in Europe is seen also as a competitive advantage sometimes. So it is not transparent to the public in every case, I would say. But yes, there are different platforms and tools, and the community of developers and programmers are getting more and more aware of the ethical development and the necessity of the ethical development and guidelines that they have to put in place. So I hope that is an answer to your question.
Yes, Professor.
Insights and expertise. Your leadership and contribution to global affairs are truly inspiring. So, now Justice Sanjeev Kumar Singh, who is serving as a judge at Circuit Court, has joined us. Let's have a huge round of applause for him.
Thank you for joining, sir. Now please welcome Mr. Jitendra Singh Kundu, a renowned cyber threat investigator with Delhi Police Services. With his vast experiences in combating cybercrime, Mr. Kundu has developed expertise in cyber forensics, fraud, digital threat analysis. Throughout his career, Mr. Kundu has played a major role in solving complex cybercrime cases, showcasing his exceptional analytical and investigative skills. He has conducted numerous training programs to enhance cybercrime awareness and skills among law enforcement professionals.
Data. The victims has raised how the percentage is increasing, you can see here. And we have lost 30,000 crore rupees in cybercrime since last 4 years. And we were able to stop only 3,431. That is with the help of the banks and the multi-stakeholders. Now let's see the scenario. Cybercrime is 60% originating from Southeast Asia. And complaints reported on NCRP in 2023 figures say 1 lakh from Southeast Asia only. 1,524 complaints which are lost in September 2024 since January. You can see more than 1 crore. These are the complaints which has been lost, where has been reported that loss has been cost more than 1 crore. You can imagine the quantum of frauds going on from this region, Southeast Asia. Earlier, the frauds were in small amounts from Jamtad region and some Mewat region. Some people were doing petty offences in cybercrime, 5,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakhs. Now, what is perpetrating from Southeast Asia is in crores. 25,000 crores estimated loss in last year till 2023, which has reached to more than 30,000 crores now in 1 year. You can say 2024 we are facing more than 1,000 crores now. For the prevention, detection, investigation, 21, we have launched the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, where all the financial frauds are reported and all other kinds of cybercrime are reported on this portal. What the figure says? See, in 2021, we lost 542 crores. In 2022, we lost 2304 crores. 2023, we lost 7,493 crores. In 2024, we lost 19 crores 856 lakhs, which is around 30 crores 30,195 crores we have lost in this last 4 years in cybercrime, financial cybercrime trends. Out of which we have been able to, with extensive help of all the banks and the stakeholders, we have made an integrated call center here.
Sir, actually the slide is not changed, so can...
19, I am in this institution. It is my coordinating body for all law enforcement agencies in the country. It is the Constitution of List of Affairs. We have been in existence since 2018 and 19. As per the mandate of Honorable Supreme Court in Prajwala case, we have been given some mandate related to some launching of a website related to complaints lodged whenever any abuse related to any woman or children has been noticed by any citizen, and he can go online and file a complaint. That is outcome of that, NCRP has extended to cybercrime now. Cybercrimes are also reported on this portal, which has been looked after by Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. And we have been given the recognition by Government of India in 2024. Now we are an attached office, and a separate office we have. We got a vision to create a safe cyber for the citizens of India. Hope I'm audible to all. My slides are visible. We have been given a mission to create 11% ransomware hacking, others with 3%. These are the areas from where the cyber criminals are are operating from and targeting India and other parts of the Europe as well as Asia. Because very important the thing is just to show the people and to get aware of it.
Yes, sir.
You can see here, this is the portal cybercrime.gov.in. Any person victim of a crime, if a woman or children, it can be reported anonymously and through track mode. Anonymously, any woman or children related any crime which is happening to them, without disclosing their names or their mobile numbers, they can report it anonymously. Action will be taken automatically. It will reach to the concerned law enforcement agency. They will take action against it. Next is register and track. Next category is financial frauds. This is other crimes. This is the further page which we open. Report anonymously, register track, register a complaint under cyber crimes and financial fraud. You can reach it from here. You can create. I accept. It asks for some features. You can log into a mobile number, you can log into an email ID. Your people will receive to you and directly file a complaint. This is one mode from which you can file a complaint. Another mode is that here you can track your complaint. You a OTP doesn't acknowledge number will receive to you on the mobile phone. By putting this acknowledge number here and getting an access on your mobile OTP from your phone, you can track your complaint. Who is the officer appointed to your complaint or what is the present status of your complaint? This has been given online.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Honorable Chief Guest, Justice Sri Sanjeev Kumar Singh ji is a district judge at District Court Saket. Since he is running with the sore throat, do you allow me to? He has brought the notes I want to share with you. Do you all agree with me? Yeah. Share with you. I think you are all getting bored because of the cyber crime, and maybe we wanted to go for the digital defamation and how it's been impacting the normal life and common man is the next stage we are going to take that. With your permission, I'll read out that he has made a very good notes actually. This is something which nobody can.
Note down a very famous case, Arvind Kejriwal versus State and another, CRL MC 6347/2019, authored by Honorable Justice for Kanti Sharma. इसमें अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने किसी के ट्वीट को रीट्वीट किया था और ये मानते हुए कि तो उसमें आप इस जजमेंट को पढ़िएगा. इट इज अ वेरी गुड जजमेंट ऑन दिस टॉपिक.
Since learned counsel and
उन्होंने ये कहा कि मैंने तो केवल रीट्वीट कर दिया. इस जजमेंट को आप पढ़िएगा. इट इज अ वेरी गुड जजमेंट. कल ही
this copy will be with Dr. Deepika. Anybody wants?
डॉक्टर साहब ने बड़ा कम टाइम दिया. कल शाम को मैं कोर्ट से खाली हुआ. डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा कि आपको आना है. फिर मैंने अपनी बिटिया को लगाया. भाई शी इज डूइंग लॉ सेकेंड ईयर. मैंने बिटिया को लगाया. हमने कहा बेटा जरा सर्च करो. तब उससे ही निकाला. कि पापा ये अरविंद केजरीवाल का केस था।
With the permission of the chief guest and the chair, I will proceed
वो
now.
मेरे इस नोट्स में है वो जजमेंट। और
Thank you so much, Mr. Jitendra Singh Kundu, who has been a ministry of.
उसमें अपने ऑनरेबल चीफ जस्टिस संजू साहब का भी एक बड़ा अच्छा जजमेंट है।
Who has highlighted about the cyber crime and he has given his thing and he has done a very good thing. Maybe running short of the time, we are not able to see exactly what is there. But please give a lot of applause to Mr. Jitendra Singh Kundu. He has done a wonderful job. And this is very decorative officer of the Ministry of Affairs. Now, since the justice has done a good homework, I think this is something Goddess Saraswati and the Saraswati Vani, I think we must understand that. Somewhere it will help each one of us. I'll read out. Maybe if any mistake, please excuse me because I'm reading the text as it is where it is. Thank you. Justifying the title, World Wide Web today, Internet has become an internal and integral part of the society. In its initial years, Internet was a repository information managed by expert coders, but today we all are commentators, publishers and creators generating the immense information over this electronic leviathan. This fastest growing technology brought in the digital revolution which has forever changed the communication techniques and the global ways of doing business in a way which one could only have a dream. In this present digital age, the boundaries of publication have expanded and implication of defamation is no more restricted to immediate years. Unlike physical injury, which may be localized and limited to the scope, virtual injury can have the greater ramifications. Thus, maintaining the digital dignity should be a legal duty of every user. The creation of a digitalized world may have eased the mankind, but it did the same thing for criminals, paving the way for cybercrime. As you have seen that how much the cybercrime is happening and faster happening. What data privacy is? Privacy in its simplest sense means to express oneself secretively. It permits each human being to left alone in a core which is inviolable. Every human being has some secret in their life which they would not like the stranger to know. The right to privacy protects the controls the confidential part of their lives from the encroachment of other individuals of a state. A common law maximum asserts every man's house is his castle, which secures to the citizen immunity in his home against the unlawful search and seizure by the government. Data privacy is a subset of privacy. It focuses on the use and governance of the personal data that can be assessed online appropriate ways. Digital privacy ensures the security of one's information that an entity collects and stores when their services are used over the internet. It instills the responsibility and accountability upon the host and intermediary to put up the restraints upon the access to such sensitive data to the outer world. What is the purpose of data dignity? Today we are all here come here for the data dignity, right? Data dignity emphasizes the handling data in a responsible and respectful manner would give data owners complete control over their personal information. This could include the rigorous data security and the retention of policies and the requirement that organizations only acquire necessary data. Reputation is a social asset, a form of honor. Every person has an equal right to protection of his asset regardless of his social standing. Whether a mass or a common man or a class, all are equally protected by the law. So there is a quote of the justice and as Sadas quoted that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal quote is there. The judgment copy has been attached here. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. The latest act is in 2023. There you all can read and understand it. Preamble: an act to provide for the processing of digital personal data in a manner that recognizes both right of individual to protect their personal data and the need of process of such personal data for lawful purposes and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. The Act emphasizes two pivotal principles: purpose limitation and data minimization. Purpose limitation dictates that personal data can only be processed for predefined legitimate purposes with informed consent, while data minimization ensures only necessary data relevant to the declared purpose is collected and processed to prevent excessive data collection. The next is interesting case of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal State Purpose ANR DHC 052 2024. I will leave this notes with Dr. Deepika. Anybody who would like to take this copy, you can take that. And the knowledge is something which everyone needs. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful words.
Now, let's proceed to the panel discussion on navigating the digital maze, cyber defamation, fraud, forensics, and
अल्टीमेटली अरविंद केजरीवाल केस में लोअर कोर्ट ने समन्स इशू किया सेशन कोर्ट ने उसको अबेल्ड किया. अरविंद केजरीवाल approached the High Court, and High Court uphold the order of magistrate and as well as session court. No, you intentionally retweet the tweet, original tweet, and defamed the other person. अरविंद केजरीवाल बहुत बड़ा क्या करते हैं, मेलोड्रामिस्ट है.
I think panel will be here.
इस फोरम से मुझे बोलना नहीं चाहिए, वो बहुत बड़ा मेलोड्रामिस्ट है वो.
Yeah, panel can.
We are privileged to have an esteemed panel of speakers, Mr. Harish Chandra Sharma, retired Superintendent of Police CBI with vast experience in cybercrime investigation, Mr. Anja Pedia, advocate on record at the Supreme Court specializing in cyber law, Dr. Anita Yadav, a leading expert in cyber law, Dr. Tanvi Agarwal, assistant professor at ICFI School of Law, Hyderabad.
Forensic tools should be so developed that they are able to bring it to a logical conclusion within a time frame. Now the question is, like suppose the cyber crime investigation by police or CBI. Basically, we have in the old FIR has to be listed 154 CRPC. Now in the BNS, there is a thing called preliminary inquiry. So in CBI, we used to have the concept of preliminary inquiry before a case was registered. Suppose like the case which I discussed of Om Prakash Chautala. So Sanjeev Kumar, an IAS officer, 1985 batch, files a PIL in Honorable Supreme Court regarding that he was threatened to change the list of the candidates. So a preliminary inquiry was registered by CBI. Then it was converted into a regular case. Now the system should be involved in so that like the investigation, the registration of a case and its disclosure should be a time frame should be fixed, collection of evidence. Then whether like madam the question she has asked regarding the cyber investigation. So the cyber experts like in India, basically the forensic expert is secondary evidence. It is not a primary evidence. So the drawback is this, that either we change the law for cyber. This thing, a cyber expert says yes, it has done. So no need to go for collection of the oral evidence and the other evidence to substantiate the allegation or to prove the case to a logical conclusion. Like I am personally what I am facing today. Like I investigated, like you must have heard about Indian Bank scam case where there was the East West Airlines. It was the first airlines to come during opening of skies. Now after 23 years, I have been called to Chennai for my evidence as an investigating officer. Now suppose like when madam just spoke, now a person's reputation has been put to stake today. Whether that person will wait for so many years to bring the culprit to book. So this is the system where this cyber laws should be such that a time frame and should be fixed. The Supreme Court or our lawmakers, the Parliament should bring along that within so many days, the investigation has to be completed and the judgment has to come, because there, like rightly you come across so many cases where the young children commit suicide because they say like it's a virtual world. The world it's not a real world, it's a virtual world. Like I just narrate a small incident. Like I like talking to the children. So now in my society, when I'm staying in Noida, so I interacted with kids who are 7 to 10 years old. Now what they are telling me कि uncle आजकल जो टेक्निक है दादा दादी माँ बाप सब मिला के 36 टेक्निक्स है टॉर्चर करने का बच्चों को. आई वाज शॉक्ड कि इंटरनेट पे उन्होंने बोला तो फिर बोला कि उसीलिए अमेरिका में द किड्स दे गो द बैड वे. तो उन्होंने नाउ व्हाट द इंटरनेट द इंफॉर्मेशन इज सो मच अवेलेबल एंड राइट एज the first panelist pointed out, no filter. Now, the first what Madam she pointed out, basically 79 should be amended so that you make the like suppose if you are using any social media, how the social media is a platform to transmit you. Either you introduce some filters or you make them accountable that you will keep track of the such things which are being spread. like I am just explaining you my personal experience. When there was Assam serial blast, what I found, like there was a sim of a lady called Fatima Khatun. So when Fatima Khatun was traced, there was no lady called Fatima Khatun. So the intelligence agency said that Islamic fundamentalists are behind this. When I investigated, so there was a person called Rahul Brahma who was coordinating the whole militant operation on a fake SIM card of Fatima Khatun, and all the militants, they use this thing. Now I raised the question as a CBI officer that we should hold these agencies, these telecom providers, service providers accountable. Why? How after SIM दे दिया एक फर्जी document पे. But the thing is this, it's a very difficult to bring them into a platform. Like a lot of जैसे chit fund companies हैं. I also raised this thing that a poor person invests. So suppose he's in chit fund, the government is there. At least you make a provision that his amount which is insuring insurance should be there by the insurance company. No, like unless until we make the courts fast, the investigation fast, so then only our dignity can be protected, and we should be able to face this cyber threat in a more positive and a more concrete manner. So there should be a time frame.
And now coming to one last question to Dr. Tanmay, but before that, all of us have heard these heavy duty words: artificial intelligence, deep fakes, machine learning. But do we actually understand what these words are and what the impact of artificial intelligence is? How many of you have used ChatGPT?
We don't know.
But just for fun. Okay. So all of us know what ChatGPT is, all of us know how AI is evolving, but we actually do not know what exactly AI is or what deepfakes are. So my question to Dr. Tanmay is, how do these sophisticated technologies like deepfakes and AI powered phishing attacks challenge our ability to discern truth from fiction?
Thank you for the question. Yes, it's very interesting for me personally as a research matter. At the same time, very frightening for the public and general at masses. But I would like to start the answer to this question by the simple phrase that digital dignity is just like your own actual dignity that takes years and years to make, and just one moment to break it down all at once. So, talking about deep fakes, the specific question, I'll be answering it in three parts, trying to understand the problem, what is exactly a deep fake, how do we understand and differentiate a deep fake from actual video, which is actually the original one. In my second phase, I'll be talking about the solutions and the recommendations that the government should be taking as a legislation, as well as I'll be highlighting how European Union and the USA already have some legislative frameworks that India needs to immediately incorporate to safeguard these measures and to protect the victims, so that these cases of deepfake could not affect, as ma'am also rightly mentioned about the Me Too movement, right? So I want to ask all of you, how many of you recall that specific road incident in which a girl slapped a guy and that was also hashtagged a lot? How many of you recall that? All right, fantastic. Do you recall the name of the guy? No? But you exactly have the picture in your mind, right? But if you see the guy in front of you, you will be able to recognize him maybe, yeah? So what exactly happened in that particular incident, which makes it very relevant over here, is a two-way communication, because actually it was not his fault. He was a motorist. For those of you who do not know the case, the girl went to that guy, slapped him multiple number of times, and afterwards it came to know that it wasn't his fault at all, right? So that point of time he was the victim, but afterwards when the movement started to take public uproar, the other girl, she was a victim of digital whole lashback of it. So the point of it is that we need to understand this. It was the incident in Lucknow. Similarly, we had the Rashmi Mandavna case of deepfakes. I'm sure all of you know about that as well. How many of you recall the Telangana recent event in which Amit Shah's video was deepfaked before the Telangana elections this year? Yes, right. So we now all understand the potential threats and what exactly deepfake is. Now, how do we understand and distinguish from the main thing? So something is pretty obvious that you all can understand. We need to see and check out whether it is syncing the audio as well as the movement, right? And then the second expert thought could be you need to check out the light and the shadow effects of the video. Those are some of the basic things I can understand. I have some specific applications. So just like hacking, we have ethical hacking to counter it. We also have for deepfake, I'll maybe coin this term. We have anti-deepfaking, right? So anti-deepfaking, I'll share 4 to 5 applications with you because this is the need of the hour. You might be receiving any number of videos on the WhatsApp today, but if you want to check it out whether it is correct or not, I'll tell you a few applications. Are you interested to know that?
Yes.
All right. So the first one goes by the name of Deepware. Deepware. Second one is Deep Track. Third is a Reality Defender. And the fourth one is Sensitivity. Alright. So what all of these 4 amazing applications does is, so I use amazing because I tried it and it gives you a technical insight of it and also gives you on the actual original video where it was taken from, and you can also use it the other way around, just like we have a reverse engineering phenomenon that we all understand. For example, you are doubtful of a particular video, you can just take a screenshot of it and maybe upload that particular photo on the web via your Google Lens. So it would tell you the actual context maybe, right? That's a maybe possibility if it is already very famous, right? Just for the paucity of time, I'll just try and conclude it with the legislative framework that India should be incorporating it with and we already have the US Deepfake Accountability Act that I had also suggested in my PhD thesis, which is actually about artificial intelligence and its regulatory framework. Since sir had the question with regard to copyright, yeah. So for that, sir, we'll definitely need to have a separate section altogether. But just one line I'd like to answer that. Before ascertaining the IPR elements of any artificial intelligence, we need to have a legal identity of a AI that is prevalently not there in the whole world in its entirety. Even the EU AI Act that was passed last year does not give autonomous entity to artificial intelligence. So the question of owning a copyright or any kind of IPR by the AI is not rising in picture for the next coming years. And to conclude, the US Deepfake Accountability Act gives you a very, very crucial impact and important element that talks about watermarking. Right, we all have seen various watermarked images, picture art or something. The creators want to preserve their identity, right? So it is a precautionary and a mandate. It should be mandated by the law that whosoever is forwarding or using or generating any kind of artificial intelligence enabled video or a deepfake content has to be like not just on the below, but overall sliding, just like maybe you would be having seen IAS notes, yeah. So it's on the whole page, it is bookmarked. So similar to that, so that no one should be falling prey and they can understand that it's just for any other purposes. And that's it. EU has also used that similar way in the Digital Services Act, and India should strongly adopt that and also mandating it for every website which is using these kinds of AI-enabled deepfake videos to have the disclaimer. With this, we'll be able to, preserve and we'll be able to protect the victims from falling prey, and consumer awareness lies in the top. Thanks so much.
Having a doubt on the authenticity. Otherwise, in the fast pace where we live, scores of videos and the information which keeps coming to you. And I think the whole idea of the differentiation between fake and deepfake is so real. So it's like, it's almost there.
Very true.
There has to be a doubt, otherwise I mean, nobody can get into a routine feature to get into this.
I-
So that was maybe a different thinking or approach is required. Now that's something.
Very true, sir. So I'll just, it's not even an answer to it, but just analogy. We all have been using currencies, right? If there's a counterfeit currency, do you every day check the number on it? No, right? So we have to adopt to it. It's a totally adding. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tanmay. I think awareness is that I will take questions, but I'll take only one question because we have paucity of time. Anyone who has a question to the panel? Yes.
Ma'am, thank you so much for allowing me to ask questions to all our honorable and learned panelists. I would like to, tell everybody that we come from a culture wherein we have 22 languages listed in our constitution. No, in part 17, no other country in the world has that level of background. And also, when I quote a very famous philosopher, Kant, he said there are some perfect and imperfect duties. So if a citizen of a country understands that there are some moral obligations to be performed, no laws would exist, right? That was a theory of this particular philosopher when he had read Aristotle, and he was quite influenced with him. And what scares me a lot is the explanation to Section 3 of DPDP Act, which precisely say X, an individual, while blogging her views, has publicly made available her personal data on social media. In such case, the provisions of this act shall not apply. This scares me a lot, and this would be a concern for the pulling out of parliament intention when the regulations and rules comes out, and when the Supreme Court and the apex court of our country is asked to interpret with what intent was this particular act framed. And also, as far as ma'am has mentioned Shreya's case versus Union of India, in that case, court specifically identified Section 66A to be unconstitutional. However, intermediary liabilities, as pointed out by ma'am, we should all remove the safeguards. But then the court also constitutionally validated Section 69A, which puts a restriction and liability on the intermediaries to take down anything which is reported as such. And also, there is one interesting case which I would like to mention here, and to be I'll be very precise. There was an instance in United States when a complaint was filed by Yahoo, and he wanted the adjudication of the court to be exercised in this particular case. Why? Because Yahoo.fr, Yahoo France, witnessed an auction wherein Nazi insignia and paraphernalia was auctioned to be advertised, and people were allowed to purchase those things. But then in France, there is a particular provision which restricts and penalizes anybody who ignites people's religious beliefs, especially if it's related to Nazi theories which they had in Europe. So what these two, cultural group and liberty group, did was they filed a complaint, and because the specific provision was in direct conflict with the activities which Yahoo was doing. In United States, Yahoo was registered as a business concern, but then they said we have a First Amendment right, freedom of speech and expression, and nobody can ask us to declare something which is unconstitutional in our jurisdiction. So this is how digital dignity, I think that case precisely points out the thing which we have in our discussion today. Jurisdictional approach can be different for any particular state. What Yahoo did was perfectly legal in United States according to the First Amendment right. But then the effect of that publication in France made it wholly illegal. To which the judges had a very interesting approach. The judges said, okay, Yahoo is under a serious threat right now as a business concern. They advised him to take down these things as soon as possible because a law and order situation was framing up in these states as well. Now, Yahoo actually declared it that I will not continue with doing all this, although the laws in United States did not declare this particular precisely this act as illegal. But when the jurisdictions and when you know for a fact that one thing is published at a jurisdiction and can be downloaded anywhere in the world, makes it all the more very difficult for us to come to a straitjacket formula of identifying what cyber dignity would be. So
You asked the question and answered it as well in your response. Yeah, and I said I'll take one question for the panel. I would call upon one of the panelists to answer or comment. If anybody has any comment on this.
Just to conclude, suppose we are discussing, and as a police officer, the worst thing in the Indian investigation scenario is a statement given before a police officer is not admissible in the court of law. So now we should make the cyber laws in such a way that a cyber police officer may be an expert. First, he should have digital expert, he should have a certification, and the investigation conducted by him should be made admissible in the court of law directly without calling the witnesses. Now, during our panel discussion in CBI, I forgot the country where the police officer who gives a statement or he files a charge sheet, he is penalized, he is made an accused if he files a wrong charge sheet. So because seeing the urgency of the digital world, seeing the urgency of the digital dignity and this thing, so we should have such a digital police officer who files a report. On the basis of the report, the court can decide instead of the long, tedious, ये document admit करो, इसको फिर the defense will say we will not accept. Again, a date is given. So in the Indian scenario, the dates are given and it keeps on addressing. If you don't mind if I share a joke which we have with the advocates. So there was an advocate who was not getting married. So after 10 years, somebody asked him, तुम्हारी शादी क्यों नहीं हुआ? बोला कि हर डेट पे लड़की वाले आते थे तो मैं डेट मांग लेता था. So शादी नहीं हुआ कभी. So basically in Indian judicial system, we have this thing of कि किसी बहाने डेट ले लो. Because I was there in lot of influential cases like our today chief guest justice named Miss Sonkanta Sharma, High Court judge. I appeared before her in this Patala court and she made as SPCY stand in a court for 3 months together till the charges were framed. Then the SP has to stand. So you have to have such judges with strong conviction who are minded. So this implementation of the result that we need immediate result. But जो अब है like there is a generation gap. The younger generation, they want immediate results. उनमें patience नहीं है. I think they are very youngsters are there. आपके पास भी है. Now they say कि अब 2 साल का भाई बहन में है difference, so it becomes a generation gap. हमारे time में तो 20 years or so much. So basically what the panel discussion जो भी है, unless until we go to the crux of the issue, unless until there is a strong investigation force with the law being able to change and to fight this situation, so we cannot cope up with the internet crime. Like I give you a small incident, you must have been hearing about Adani case. I was sent by India for a special mission to Washington. The Security Exchange Commission, I will not tell the facts of the case, but Security Exchange Commission caught us an American company for bribing Indian officials. So as CBI, we registered the case in CBI. And you'll be surprised, by 2015 I went there, I was the SP with my investigating officer. The American government had already penalized the company $100 million. And India, I have retired, I have gone there, but I don't think it has come to a logical conclusion in India regarding this. So basically, हम लोग compare करते हैं basically like any platform, you say we compare with US, European Union and this thing. But हमारे जो country का जो main जो issue है, main that like madam ने basic चीज hit किया. She first that unless until हमारा moral education school में हो, I say that you increase it to our level also, whether you're an advocate or a middle age, the moral education should continue throughout. जबकि हमारे धर्मशास्त्र में वी हैव सो मच ऑफ रिलीजियस टेक्स्ट एंड सो मच ऑफ कल्चर, सो एनी रिलीजन आप ले लो, इट इज रिच, बट व्हाई द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज पुअर। अगर आप देखो इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, यू विल हैव सो मच रिच कल्चर। अब कहीं जाओ, कहीं भी जाओ, आई हैव बीन पोस्टेड थ्रू आउट द कंट्री एंड यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड, यू विल बी शॉक्ड कि द कल्चर इज सो रिच। बट जब हमारा लीगल सिस्टम है, आई एम ऑल्सो पुलिस ऑफिसर, आई एम पार्ट ऑफ द क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम, बट देयर वी somehow we are not able to give the justice in time.
सर सामने प्लीज। थैंक यू। Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Well done.
I would
Yes, please.
I would like to invite after this Dr. Anil. I would now invite Dr. Tanmay Agrawal. Now I would like to
Yes, please. Salute.
Be around and probably speak more about Misinfrage and what we are trying to do. But for now, I mean, thanks to you and organizers, like, so giving us this belief that we are probably on the right path. But I'm sure this is also, to pave way for more collaboration. So thank you everyone, all the best.
For giving us this opportunity to speak before such prominent persons. And today what I feel is cyber forensic or digital crime has increased a lot. As ma'am said that in today's newspaper daily we read some or the other kind of cyber crime that is happening in the world, not in the world. And especially what I feel today, the older generation, the older people, they are being deceived a lot because they are not so pro to use the digital things.
Yes, please. Salute state. Thank you.
भारत माता की जय बोलने में कैसा सब कुछ, हम इसी देश में रहते हैं, इसी देश में खाते हैं, इसी देश में पीते हैं, सब कुछ इसी देश में है। एक वाकया याद आ गया मुझे, एक बार श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जो कि हमारे देश के पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री थे, उन लोगों ने ऐसे ही एक बार अपने भाषण की शुरुआत कर दी थी। और जब वो अपने भाषण की शुरुआत की तो जो उन्होंने अपने जैसे भाषण की शुरुआत करते हैं तो भारत माता की जय के नारे के साथ की, तो उनको भी वही रेस्पॉन्स आया जो आज मुझे यहाँ है। तब आदरणीय श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने कहा था इस देश के लिए कि भारत कोई भूमि का टुकड़ा नहीं है, यह जीता जागता राष्ट्र पुरुष है। ये वंदन की भूमि है, ये अभिनंदन की भूमि है, ये अर्पण की भूमि है, ये तर्पण की भूमि है। इसकी नदी नदी हमारे लिए गंगा है और इसका कंकड़ कंकड़ हमारे लिए शंकर है। हम जिएंगे तो इस भारत के लिए और मरेंगे तो इस भारत के लिए, और मरने के बाद भी हमारी बहती हुई अस्थियों को एक कान लगाकर सुनेगा ना तो एक ही आवाज आएगी, क्या? भारत माता की जय। एक बार निवेदन करूंगा, बंद मुट्ठी करके हम सब लोग एक साथ एक स्वर में बोलेंगे, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much.
दीपिका जी को इस सफल कार्यक्रम के लिए मैं बधाई देना चाहूंगा, शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूंगा। आपने इतने अच्छे इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग सबसे मुलाकात कराई आज, और आसान नहीं होता एक मंच पर इतनी डिग्निटी स्टेज को एक मंच पर लेके आना, क्योंकि जो आपने आज क्योंकि सब लोग अपने अपने फील्ड में माहिर हैं, सब लोग अपने अपनी जगह पे एक स्टारडम रखते हैं, तो आपने इन सबको एक मंच के नीचे लेके आए हुआ, एक ऑडिटोरियम में लेके आए हो, तो आप सबसे पहले तो बधाई के पात्र हैं इसने सफल आयोजन के लिए। और दीपिका जी ने आने से पहले मुझे बोल दिया कि सिर्फ 2 मिनट बोलना है, तो शायद मेरे 2 मिनट तो खत्म हो गई होंगी। एक मैसेज लास्ट में बस देना चाहूंगा, सब लोगों ने डिटेल में इस टॉपिक को लेके बातें की है, मैं बस एक मैसेज ये देना चाहता हूं कि हम सबको जो व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी से दूर रहना चाहिए। सब लोग हम लोग देखते हैं रेगुलर, हम लोग व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू मैसेज देखते हैं और उस पर न्यूज देखते हैं, लेकिन सारी न्यूज जेन्युइन नहीं होती। सबसे पहले हमें अपने परिवार को समझाना है, अपने परिवार में हम लोग तो सब समझदार हैं, हम समझते हैं, लेकिन हमें बच्चों को और हमारे पेरेंट्स को, जो लोग शायद इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाते हैं इन सब बातों के लिए, सबसे पहले हमें शुरुआत अपने आप से करनी है, अपने परिवार से करनी है, अपने आसपास के लोगों से करनी है, तब जाके हम समाज के अंदर कुछ चेंज ला सकते हैं। हम लोग बाकी लोगों को तब समझाएंगे, पहले हम अपने से शुरुआत करें। तो बस मेरा एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमें शुरुआत अपने से करनी चाहिए और व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी से दूर रहना चाहिए, और आगे आके इस तरह के कार्यक्रम को हमेशा हमें करते रहना चाहिए। जहां जहां मेरी जरूरत है, हमारी पार्टी की जरूरत है, दीपिका जी हम लोग हमेशा आपके लिए खड़े हुए हैं। थैंक यू सो मच ऑल ऑफ यू, थैंक यू।
Let's have a huge round of applause. In their communities and industries. Their hard work, innovation, dedication to creating positive change deserves our deepest recognition. We are proud to present the awards for outstanding organizations, Praha Foundation. Let's have a huge round of applause.
मैम आपके साथ बैठ
आप इधर आ जाइए।
क्लोज है सर, आप इधर आ जाइए। अच्छा यस सर। Thank you. Yes, please.
We have two individuals as change makers of 2020.
Yes, sir. Sir, close हो जी इसमें।
Thank you very much.
सर क्लोज हो जाइए।
Thank you very much, sir, for coming and sharing always your thoughts with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Advocate.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Now we have
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now we would like to take this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Look straight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes. Yes.
It's yours only.
Yes.
Thank you. Please take it.
Yes. बेटा बीच में आओ, आप दोनों बीच में आओ, बीच में आओ,
आप दोनों बीच में साथ के साथ आओ।
बीच में जाओ बेटा, बीच में जाओ।
I told earlier, I don't know. I really want it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well done.
Actually, I.
Yes, please.
ज्योत से ज्योत जगाते चलो, ज्योत से ज्योत जगाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो। राह में आए जो दीन दुखी, राह में आए जो दीन दुखी, सबको गले से लगाते चलो, सबको गले से लगाते चलो। ज्योत से ज्योत जगाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो।